I stared at my reflection in the bathroom mirror, wondering when I started feeling so hollow inside. "Babe, breakfast is ready." Daniel called from the kitchen. I forced a smile and walked out. He stood there with that proud grin, holding up a plate of perfectly scrambled eggs and toast. "This was us. Predictable, safe, comfortable. You're amazing," I said, kissing his cheek. "Anything for my wife." He wrapped his arms around my waist. How did I get so lucky? I laughed, but something twisted in my chest. Lucky? Everyone said that about us. My best friend Sophia said it constantly. "Daniel's too good for you." She'd joke over wine. "Seriously, where did you find him? I need one." She was right. Daniel was perfect. He worked as an architect, spent his weekends planning our future. Never raised his voice even when I was being impossible. We'd been together 3 years, married for 6 months, but lately I felt restless, like I was living someone else's life. My phone buzzed on the counter. I glanced at it casually, then froze. Ryan, my ex-boyfriend, the one who broke my heart 5 years ago. The one I'd promised myself I'd never think about again. "Who's that?" Daniel asked, peering over my shoulder. "Just a work email." I lied, my heart suddenly racing. He kissed my forehead. "You work too hard. Take it easy today, okay?" I nodded, barely hearing him. My fingers trembled as I opened the message. "Hey, it's been a long time. I'm in town for work. Want to grab coffee?" I should have deleted it. Should have blocked him right then, but I didn't. Instead, I stared at those words, feeling something dangerous stir inside me. Something I thought I'd buried years ago. Daniel hummed while washing dishes, completely oblivious. And I hated myself for even considering replying. But I did. God help me, I did. I typed and deleted my response at least 10 times. Sure, coffee sounds nice. My finger hovered over the send button. What was I doing? I had a husband, a good husband. This was wrong. I pressed send anyway. The next morning, Daniel kissed me good. Bye like always. "Have a great day at work," he said sweetly. "I have a meeting with a client." I lied, the words tasting bitter. "Might be late. No problem. I'll save you some dinner." The guilt hit me like a punch to the gut, but I pushed it down and drove to the cafe downtown. Ryan was already there, leaning against his car. He looked exactly like I remembered, tall, confident, that mischievous smile that used to make me weak. "There she is," he said, his eyes lighting up. "You look amazing." "Thanks." I tried to sound casual. "You look the same." "I'll take that as a compliment." He held the cafe door open. "After you." We sat by the window. For a moment, neither of us spoke. So, I finally said, "How have you been?" "Honestly, I've been thinking about you," he said, his voice low and intense. "About us, about how I messed everything up." My heart skipped. "Ryan, I know. I was an idiot. I was young and stupid, but I've changed." He reached across the table, not quite touching my hand. "I often wondered what would have happened if I hadn't let you go. I should have pulled away. Should have told him I was married, that this was inappropriate. Instead, I stayed. We talked for hours. About the past, about old memories, about the dreams we used to share. He made me laugh the way I hadn't laughed in months. With Daniel, everything was comfortable, predictable. With Ryan, everything felt alive. "We should do this again," he said as we walked to our cars. "I don't know if that's a good idea." "Come on, just as friends, what's the harm? What's the harm?" Everything, but I agreed anyway. Over the next few weeks, I saw Ryan 5 more times. Each meeting felt like a secret thrill, an escape from my routine life. I lied to Daniel constantly: work meetings, client dinners, late nights at the office. He never questioned me. He trusted me completely. That made it so much worse. "I have something to tell you," Ryan said one evening over drinks. "What?" "I'm staying at a hotel downtown. It's quieter than my apartment. Wanna come over? Just to talk somewhere private." I knew what he really meant. I wasn't stupid. "Ryan, I can't just talk, I promise." That smile again. "Unless you don't trust yourself around me." It was a challenge, and I took it. Fine, but just for an hour. I drove to his hotel, my hands shaking on the steering wheel. Every red light felt like a warning. Turn back, go home, stop this before it's too late. But I didn't listen. I parked, walked through the lobby. took the elevator to the 8th floor. And the moment I stepped into that hotel room, I knew I'd made a terrible mistake. The door clicked shut behind me, and suddenly the room felt too small, too quiet. Ryan poured 2 glasses of wine. "Relax," he said, handing me one. "We're just talking, remember?" I took a sip, trying to calm my racing heart. "Right, talking. Tell me," he said, sitting beside me on the bed. "Are you happy with him?" "Of course I am. Daniel's amazing." "Then why are you here?" I had no answer for that. He leaned closer. "You know what I think. I think you miss us, the way things used to be." "Ryan, stop. Tell me I'm wrong." I couldn't, because he wasn't wrong. He brushed a strand of hair from my face, his fingers lingering on my cheek. "I never stopped thinking about you." And then he kissed me. I should have pushed him away, should have left immediately. But I didn't. For a few dangerous seconds, I kissed him back. I forgot about Daniel, about my wedding vows, about everything. All I felt was the rush of something forbidden, something I'd been craving without even realizing it. Then my phone buzzed, reality crashed back. I pulled away, gasping, and grabbed my phone with shaking hands. It was Daniel. "Where are you? I made your favorite dinner. Come home soon. I love you." The words blurred through my tears. What had I done? What the hell had I done? "Hey, it's okay," Ryan started. "No." I jumped up, grabbing my purse. This was a mistake. I shouldn't have come. Wait. But I was already out the door, running down the hallway, my heart pounding so hard I thought it might explode. I drove home in a daze, tears streaming down my face. I kissed another man. I betrayed Daniel. The guilt was suffocating. When I walked through our apartment door, Daniel was in the kitchen, setting the table. "There you are." He smiled, then frowned. "Hey, you okay? You look pale." "I'm fine," I lied, forcing a smile. "Just tired, long meeting." He pulled me into a hug. "You work too hard. Come eat. I made your favorite." I sat across from him, watching him talk about his day, about a new project at work, about plans for the weekend. He was so happy, so trusting, and I was a monster. That night, I lay beside him, staring at the ceiling, unable to sleep. He breathed peacefully next to me, completely unaware that I'd just destroyed everything we'd built. I promised myself I'd never see Ryan again. I'd bury this secret and move on. I'd be a better wife. But a week later, my phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. I opened it, and my blood ran cold. It was a photo, me and Ryan, entering the hotel together. "Does your husband know where you were?" I stared at the photo, my hands trembling so violently I nearly dropped my phone. This couldn't be happening. I immediately texted Ryan. "Did you do this? Did you send someone to follow me?" He replied within seconds. "What? No, what are you talking about? Someone has photos of us at the hotel. They're threatening me." "That's insane. I had nothing to do with it. Maybe it was just bad luck." "Bad luck?" Right, because that made sense. Another message came through from the unknown number. "You think you can have it all. You don't deserve him." Then another. "Tell him the truth, or I will." I felt like I was drowning. Who was doing this, and what did they want? My first thought was Sophia. She was the only one who knew I'd been feeling restless in my marriage. But would she really do this? I called her immediately. "We need to talk." "About what?" she asked, concerned. Did you send someone to follow me?" Silence, then. "What the hell are you talking about?" "Someone has photos of me with Ryan, and they're threatening to tell Daniel." "Wait, Ryan, your ex, you've been seeing him." Her voice rose. "Are you serious right now?" "Sophia, please. Just tell me it wasn't you." "Of course it wasn't me." She sounded hurt. "How could you even think that? What did you do?" I hung up. She was telling the truth. I could hear it in her voice. So who then? I thought about Ryan's ex-girlfriend, Jessica. I'd heard stories about her being possessive, jealous. Maybe she'd found out he was in town and followed him. I searched for her on social media. Her profile was public, filled with cryptic posts. Karma sees everything. Betrayal always comes back around. Some people deserve what's coming to them. It had to be her. I sent her a direct message. "I know it's you. Stop sending those messages, or I'll report you." She replied almost instantly. Stop what? I have no idea what you're talking about. But maybe you should focus on fixing your own mess instead of blaming others. I threw my phone across the room. Nothing made sense. The messages kept coming, each one more threatening than the last. Then one evening, Daniel came home early. He looked at me with an expression I'd never seen before, cold, distant, like he was staring at a stranger. "We need to talk," he said quietly. My heart stopped. Daniel sat across from me at the kitchen table, his hands folded, his jaw tight. The silence was unbearable. "I got an email today," he finally said, his voice eerily calm, "with photos of you at a hotel." The room spun. I couldn't breathe. "Daniel, let me finish." His voice cracked slightly. I didn't want to believe it. I thought maybe it was fake, photoshopped, some kind of sick joke. So I called the hotel. They confirmed you were there with him. Tears poured down my face. "Daniel, please, did you sleep with him?" he asked bluntly. I opened my mouth, but no words came out. "Answer me." His voice rose for the first time in our entire relationship. "Did you sleep with him?" "No," I whispered. "I kissed him, but I stopped. I left. I swear I left." He laughed bitterly. "You kissed him? You went to a hotel room with your ex-boyfriend and kissed him?" "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." "Why?" His eyes filled with tears. "Why would you do this? What did I do wrong?" "Nothing. You didn't do anything wrong. This was all me." "You're damn right it was." He stood up so fast his chair fell backward. "I gave you everything. I loved you more than anything in this world. And you threw it away for what? A thrill. Excitement." I reached for his hand, but he jerked away like my touch burned him. "Don't." His voice was ice. "Don't touch me. Don't look at me. Don't say another word. Daniel, please, let me explain." "There's nothing to explain." He walked toward the bedroom. "You made your choice. Now live with it. Where are you going?" "I don't know. Anywhere but here." I watched him pack a bag, throwing clothes in carelessly, his hands shaking. "Daniel, please don't leave. We can work through this." He turned to face me, and the look in his eyes broke me completely. "Work through this." He laughed without humor. "You betrayed me. You lied to me for weeks. You went to a hotel with another man. There's nothing left to work through." The door slammed behind him. I collapsed on the floor, sobbing so hard I couldn't breathe. I called his phone over and over, no answer. I texted him, nothing. The next day, I went to his office. His secretary stopped me at the door. "I'm sorry, but Mr. Carter doesn't want to see you." "Please, I just need 5 minutes." "I'm sorry," he was very clear. I drove home in a daze, my phone buzzed, one final message from the unknown number. "You got what you deserved. 3 weeks passed." Daniel filed for divorce. I tried everything. I called, texted, emailed, showed up at places I knew he'd be. He ignored me completely. It was like I'd ceased to exist. Sophia came over one afternoon, finding me on the couch surrounded by tissues. "You need to eat something," she said gently, setting down a bag of takeout. "I'm not hungry." She sat beside me. "I'm not going to lie to you. You messed up badly, I know. I warned you, remember? I told you Daniel was special, that you had something real." Fresh tears spilled down my cheeks. "I destroyed it, yeah." She squeezed my hand. "You did." A knock on the door interrupted us. I opened it to find Ryan standing there with flowers. "Can we talk?" he asked with that familiar smirk. "Are you kidding me right now? Come on. We can finally be together now. You're free." "Free." I laughed hysterically. "You think I'm free? You ruined my life." His smile faded. "I didn't ruin anything. You made your own choices. Get out." My voice was deadly quiet. "Get out and never contact me again." "Baby," I said, "get out." I slammed the door in his face and blocked his number. Sophia watched the exchange with wide eyes. "That's him. That's Ryan. Yeah. What a piece of work." I sank back onto the couch. He never cared about me. He just wanted to win, to take something that wasn't his. I was nothing but a game. Days blurred together. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I replayed every moment with Daniel, torturing myself with what-ifs. What if I deleted Ryan's message? What if I told Daniel the truth from the start? What if I just appreciated what I had instead of chasing something that didn't exist? My phone buzzed, another unknown number, but this time the message was different. This is Margaret, Daniel's mother. We need to talk. Tomorrow, 2 p.m., Riverside Cafe. Please come. I arrived at the cafe 15 minutes early, my stomach in knots. Margaret was already there, sitting by the window with a cup of tea. She looked at me with a mixture of sadness and something else I couldn't quite read. Pity, maybe. Thank you for coming, she said calmly as I sat down. Of course, how is he? Devastated. She didn't sugarcoat it, but that's not why I asked you here. I waited, my heart pounding. I'm not here to yell at you or make you feel worse than you already do. She continued, I'm here because I think you deserve to know the truth. What truth? She took a deep breath. The person who sent those photos to Daniel. It was Ryan. The world stopped spinning. What? Ryan orchestrated the whole thing. Margaret explained. He hired a private investigator to follow you, to take those photos, to send them to Daniel. He wanted to destroy your marriage. I felt like I might throw up. How? How do you know this? Because Daniel hired his own investigator after receiving those photos. He needed to know if there was more to the story. She pulled out a folder and slid it across the table. Ryan planned everything from the moment he texted you. The cafe meetings, the emotional manipulation, the hotel invitation. All of it was calculated to break up your marriage. I opened the folder with trembling hands. Inside were emails, text messages, payment receipts. Everything was there. Ryan had paid someone $5,000 to follow me and document everything. Oh my God. Tears blurred my vision. Oh my God, I was so stupid. You were manipulated, Margaret said softly, but that doesn't erase what you did. You still made the choice to meet him, to go to that hotel. I know. I covered my face with my hands. I know. Does Daniel know all of this? I asked. Yes, but it doesn't change how he feels. Knowing Ryan set a trap doesn't erase the fact that you walked into it willingly. She was right. Of course she was right. Why are you telling me this? I whispered. Margaret's eyes softened. Because despite everything, my son still loves you, but he's hurt, deeply, and I don't know if he'll ever be able to forgive you. She paused. But you deserve to know the truth. What you do with it is up to you. I left the cafe in a daze. Ryan had destroyed my life, but I'd let him. I was the one who replied to his message. I was the one who kept meeting him. I was the one who went to that hotel. This was my fault, all of it. I wanted revenge. I wanted Ryan to suffer the way I was suffering, but I didn't have to lift a finger. Karma did it for me. 2 weeks later, Sophia called me, excitement in her voice. Have you seen the news? What news? About Ryan. He lost his job. I sat up straighter. What? Apparently, Daniel's private investigator sent all that evidence to Ryan's company. They have a strict ethics policy about employees engaging in affairs with married clients or contacts. They fired him immediately. My hands shook. I don't know what to say. There's more, Sophia continued. Jessica, his ex, found out what he did. She contacted every woman he'd ever dated and exposed his entire pattern of manipulation. It's all over social media. He's getting destroyed. I pulled up my phone and searched his name. She was right. Post after post detailed his manipulative behavior, his lies, his systematic destruction of relationships for his own amusement. Ryan Martinez is a predator. One post read, he gets off on breaking up happy couples, stay away. Another, he told me he'd changed too. Same lies, different victim. His life was unraveling in real time, I felt. Nothing, not satisfaction, not joy, just emptiness. A knock on my door interrupted my thoughts. I opened it to find Ryan standing there, looking nothing like the confident man I'd met at that cafe. His clothes were wrinkled, his eyes bloodshot, his hair a mess. Please, he begged, you have to help me. Tell people this is a misunderstanding, a misunderstanding. I laughed coldly. You hired someone to destroy my marriage. You manipulated me from the start. You planned everything. I know. I messed up, okay, but I didn't think it would go this far. You didn't think. My voice rose. You destroyed my life. You took away the only person who ever truly loved me. And for what? A game, entertainment. He had no answer. Get off my property. I said quietly, and never come back. I closed the door and locked it. Through the peephole, I watched him stand there for a long moment before finally walking away. I never saw him again. Months passed. The divorce was finalized in October. I moved to a smaller apartment across town, started seeing a therapist twice a week, and tried to rebuild some semblance of a life. But the guilt never left. It sat on my chest like a weight, making it hard to breathe. One afternoon, I saw Daniel from across the street. He was with someone, a woman with auburn hair who made him laugh. Really laugh, the way he used to with me. I ducked behind a building, watching them walk hand in hand. It hurt. God, it hurt. But he deserved happiness. He deserved someone who wouldn't betray him. Sophia visited every week, making sure I was eating, making sure I was okay. You made a mistake, she said during one visit. A huge, life-changing mistake, but that doesn't mean your life is over. You have to forgive yourself eventually. How? I asked. How do I forgive myself for destroying the best thing that ever happened to me? She had no answer. One night, I sat down and wrote Daniel a letter. I knew I'd never send it. He'd made it clear he didn't want to hear from me. But I needed to say it anyway, even if only to myself. Dear Daniel, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for betraying you, for breaking your trust, for throwing away everything we had. You gave me your whole heart, and I crushed it. You deserve so much better than me. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't even forgive myself, but I need you to know that what we had was real. My love for you was real. I was just too stupid and selfish to appreciate it until it was gone. I hope you find happiness. I hope you find someone who will love you the way you deserve to be loved. Someone who will never, ever hurt you the way I did. I will carry this regret for the rest of my life. I'm sorry. I folded the letter and put it in a drawer. Maybe someday I'd have the courage to send it. But probably not. Some apologies come too late to matter. I don't know if I'll ever truly move on. Some mistakes are too big to forgive, too deep to forget. I learned that love isn't something you take for granted. It's fragile, precious, and once broken, it can never be fully repaired. I learned that the grass isn't always greener. I thought Ryan represented excitement, freedom, something I was missing. But he was nothing but an illusion, a carefully constructed trap I willingly walked into. I learned that consequences are real. Every choice we make sends ripples through our lives. And sometimes those ripples become tidal waves that destroy everything in their path. Most importantly, I learned that I was my own worst enemy. Daniel didn't fail me. I failed him. I failed us. Now, I live with that truth every single day. People ask me sometimes if I regret going to that hotel. The answer is painfully obvious. Of course I do. But regret doesn't change the past. It only haunts the present. I went to a hotel with my ex-boyfriend after getting married, and I lost my husband. But more than that, I lost myself. I lost the person. I thought I was the person who wouldn't do something like that. And I don't know if I'll ever get her back. All I can do now is try to be better, to learn from my mistakes, to never let curiosity and selfishness destroy my life again. But some lessons come too late, and some hearts once broken never fully heal. I see Daniel occasionally, always from a distance. He looks happy now, genuinely happy, and that's all I ever wanted for him, even if I couldn't be the one to give it to him. Maybe that's my punishment, watching him build a beautiful life with someone else, knowing I had that chance and threw it away. Maybe that's what I deserve, the end